Hello everyone, and today I have a kind of an open tag response because this video was inspired by one of Paddy and Pals live shows that they did on Paddy's Potato Peeler's YouTube channel. And the idea is kind of 3 knives that I would recommend to people, and I'm going to go over 3, because this is how they did it in the show. They went over 3 different price ranges of it, kind of a budget, mid-range, and then a more premium choice. And also I do have one honorable mention that I will throw in to the end there. So yeah, with all that said, let's get into the video. Start off with my budget pick, which is this right here. And actually this is kind of more of a broader pick, because I would just recommend any of the Rough Rider Barlows, particularly because Rough Rider is inexpensive and the Barlow is just a really nice pattern. It's got a good kind of neutral handle. But the particular one I would pick is this one from their Carbon series. It's got this yellow Delrin handle right there. Then we have carbon steel blades. It's a really nice knife, good overall for EDC, just feels really good in the hand, and that particularly that pen blade isn't really digging into you. The handle is good and comfortable. And if you wanted to go with a single blade Barlow, they do offer some of those as well. Yeah, particularly the carbon steel is nice because it kind of harkens back to a lot of the older traditional knives that were made with carbon steel instead of stainless. And you do get some, like there's a little bit of patina right there on the blade, which is very nice. And you do get half stops on both of these blades. That's a good snap. There's also a little bit of a patina spot right there. The downside though to carbon steel is it does rust easier. As you can see, there's maybe some scratches there from when I was removing some rust. I had left this kind of sitting in a drawer too long without taking a look at it, and it had rusted on me. So and I hadn't wiped it off or anything or oiled it up. So you have to keep in mind you do have to take care of carbon steel. So, but yeah, and you do have pinch bolsters right there with the R right there, and then the shield there. I do prefer Barlows though without the shield. I like it just when there's something on the bolster like that, but just a minor personal preference. Yeah, just a cool, and not to mention particularly this yellow Delrin is cool because it harkens back to a lot of the earlier knives as well. Yeah, just a good overall EDC knife, and you get to experience a 2-bladed knife. So that's why that is my budget pick, and also good fit and finish as well. Hardly any gapping. The blade centering isn't the best. They're a little bit over to the sides. But still, it's only like a $10 to $15 knife, so not too bad for that price. And then for mid-range, we're going to go with a RoseCraft. This is the Nolichucky Jack and the Moss Brown Bone. They also make the Nolichucky in Stag as well, if you wanted to go that route. Good strong pull on that blade. We do have a half stop and then good snap on there. And we do have a good blade of D2 steel swedging along the top there. I'm not necessarily sure what RoseCraft calls this. I'd call this kind of a drop point, well, maybe more of a spear point, kind of a cross between a spear point and a drop point. Has some good belly for it, which would be great for a lot of EDC tasks. And the D2 steel would last a good long while. And the price point for this knife is coming in around the $60 range. And yeah, we do have stainless steel back spring and liners and stainless steel bolsters as well. And then that bone is particularly gorgeous on there. Yeah, just a good overall EDC knife. You do have plenty of grip on that. My hands are a little bit smaller, but still, if you had bigger hands, it would fit this knife really well. So it's just kind of a good overall EDC blade, good shape with a nice thin kind of taper, and then it swells closer to the end. Very nice, and a really pretty bone color. Good walk and talk as well. So yeah, that is my recommendation for the mid-range knife, and a good start for a RoseCraft knife. I would recommend this actually as also the first RoseCraft you get as well. Then finally we have the Boker Club Knife right here. Sadly, this particular version is no longer available on from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. This was a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. You might be able to find it on the secondary market, but this one is no longer available from any retailers. But yeah, copper bolsters, copper pins, and that nice burlap micarta there. But there's also a lot of other offerings with some nickel silver bolsters and some nice wood. So go check that out. These do run a little bit pricey. I think they can get up to close to the $200 to $300 price point. But yeah, this one comes with an not O2. Let's see, where's the steel? Let me read it. O1, not O2. O1. O1 steel. It's a nice carbon steel. This one has a nice acid wash blade to it. But just another kind of like a theme with all of these. It's a good, all three of these knives have a good neutral handle. It's going to be great, and they're all going to be great for EDC, a great size for EDC. And yeah, this one just feels really great in the hand, and also all the blades are going to be very versatile as well. So it's kind of a theme with all these knives. But yeah, this is my premium pick, just a really nice knife, feels good in the hand. You can even go up there on the choil, gives you enough room there. Nice spear point blade with a little bit of swedging right there. We do have a match strike, a very thin match strike nail nick. We do have match strike nail pulls on there as well. I forgot to mention that for the Barlow there. Yeah, and then the two bolsters, and this is a very kind of good gentleman's carry knife, any of these Boker Club knives, so kind of get a fancier knife for a higher price, but or it'd be good for just everyday use. So yeah, there's my more premium pick, and that's maybe kind of in the mid-range of the premium. You could go even higher than that if you wanted to, but let's get all of these blades out there for you to look at. So yeah, those are my three choices my three picks for like knives I'd recommend from three different price ranges. Budget, kind of mid-range. Some people might consider that one budget too, but I consider it mid-range. And then we have the Boker Club Knife. And then I did mention I do have a honorable mention, and that is this knife right here. This is the Boker Traditional Series 2.0 Congress, and with the black bone and D2 tool steel blades. This right here is one of my favorite knives, but I didn't feel confident enough recommending it over these other three. It would be probably within the medium range over the Nolichucky then. Because for one thing, the Congress isn't the most popular pattern out there, and there's kind of have a little bit of a smaller following. Yeah, it's just not as popular as these other knives right here, so I didn't really feel comfortable enough recommending it, because someone might get this knife and then not like it, particularly because it's kind of an interesting pattern. It's got a little quirks to it. They do have half stops on all these blades, and it is nice that it has D2 steel, and that black bone is really nice. But for the feel in the hand, it can be a little uncomfortable if you don't particularly like the shape of the pattern. It's got a sway back design, and the blades can kind of create a hot spot. So yeah, this is one of my favorite knives personally. So if you want to check out a Congress pattern, this would be the one I'd recommend. It's a little bit pricey, around $70, I'd say, roughly around that price point. I'd recommend it if you want to check out a Congress knife. So it isn't a bad pick, but I just don't feel comfortable enough recommending a Congress knife, especially to someone who hasn't really picked out a knife yet, because it's maybe not necessarily the most popular choice. It's kind of you either like it or you don't. So yeah, that's where I stand on that. But I think that's going to do it for now. These are my three picks, with this Congress knife being an honorable mention. Please go check out Paddy's Potato Peelers, and go subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. And thank you, Paddy's Potato Peelers, for this great idea for a video. Thank you all for watching. Keep your pens filled and your knife sharp, and I'll see you later.